The first time I saw the alien fleet, it wasn't through a telescope or a broadcast feed. It was through the wide, shimmering crack in the sky above Nevada, an aurora-colored wound that bled light instead of fire. Every scientist on Earth said it was a wormhole. Every government said to stay calm. But when the first ships slid out, as silent and smooth as knives through water, calm was the last thing anyone felt. I was there because of my mother, Dr. Elaine Carter, xenobiologist, linguist, and the first person to decode the beacon transmission. Before she died, she left me a warning. They're not coming for the planet, Nathan. They're coming for you. For a year I thought grief had broken her mind. But now, watching those ships descend like silver leviathans, her words crawled back into me like a forgotten truth. The arrival. The day the Queen's ship landed, the world went still. Cities fell silent. Every weapon was aimed upward. The vessel dwarfed mountains. Half organic, half metal, a cathedral of alien biology glowing with a pulse that felt alive. The ship settled in the Nevada desert, displacing enough dust to blanket Las Vegas in a crimson haze. A global envoy gathered at the landing site. World leaders, generals, scientists, and me. Dr. Nathan Carter, son of the woman who started it all. They said I was only there as a consultant on xenolinguistics. But I could see the truth in the general's eyes. They wanted me close because of what my mother said. 'Cause maybe I was the key. A ramp unfurled from the Queen's ship, rippling like muscle under translucent armor. Then she emerged. The alien queen, 10 feet tall. Silver-blue skin that shimmered like moonlight through water. Her eyes, enormous and multifaceted, reflected the entire sky. She wore no armor, no crown, only a living garment that fluttered as though breathing. Around her, a retinue of guards, sleek insectoid giants, stood like statues carved from starlight. Every human present tensed. Even the air seemed to hesitate. Then she looked at me. For a heartbeat, nothing happened. Then, before the eyes of the world, before presidents, scientists, and soldiers, the alien queen fell to her knees. Gasps erupted. Weapons raised. Cameras clicked. She spoke, her voice resonating like thunder inside a dream. He lives. The heir of the void lives. Tooth the prophecy. No one understood. The translators stuttered, trying to render meaning from her alien tongue. But even before the devices finished, I felt it. A wordless understanding blooming in my mind. She was speaking to me. General Rhodes grabbed my arm, his voice low. What the hell does she mean, Carter? What's a heir of the void? I don't know, I stammered. I've never. But that was a lie. I had heard the phrase once, buried in my mother's journals, written in a language no one had ever deciphered. A language she claimed came from the stars. The Queen rose slowly, towering over everyone. Her eyes never left mine. You are not of them, she said. You wear the flesh of the world, but your essence sings with the seed of my people. Rhodes barked. Step back. She's threatening you. The Queen's gaze snapped toward him, and every guard raised their weapons, biological constructs that looked disturbingly alive. I stepped forward instinctively, raising my hands. Please. No one move. The Queen's attention returned to me. Do you not know who you are, child of the void? I shook my head. I'm human. A sound like grief rippled through her. Half sigh, half harmonic vibration. Then they lied to you. 3. My mother's secret. They quarantined the Queen's words, locked down the site, and dragged me into a briefing room deep underground. Carter, Rhodes said, if what she says is true, if you're some kind of alien hybrid, then your mother's work wasn't research. It was collaboration. She wasn't collaborating, I snapped. She was trying to stop something. I opened her old field journal. Its pages were filled with strange glyphs and equations, diagrams of stellar alignments, and genetic codes interwoven with English notes. One line stood out. The heir of the void must be hidden among men until the queen crosses the rift. Only then can the circle of memory be restored. I stared at the words until they blurred. My mother hadn't gone mad. She'd been preparing me for this moment. When the guards came for me that night, I didn't resist. For the queen's truth. They took me aboard her ship. Inside, the walls pulsed softly, veins of light running through translucent corridors. The air smelled faintly of ozone and something floral, alien but not unpleasant. The queen awaited me in a chamber that looked like a cathedral grown from coral and crystal. Around her, holographic constellations floated in the air, maps of galaxies I'd never seen. You were born of two worlds, she said. Your mother was chosen. She carried our essence when the stars were still aligned. My mother was human, I insisted. She studied alien signals, she didn't carry them. The queen tilted her head, studying me. Your DNA sings otherwise. When we sent our seed across the void, it was to preserve what was left of us. You are the last bridge between our dying kind and this young race you call humanity. I stepped back. That's impossible. Is it? She raised a hand and the air shimmered. Images formed. Visions of a dying world orbiting twin suns, cities collapsing under storms of light, people sending their genetic memory across space, encoded in light. You are our legacy, she whispered. And I am your guardian. The bond. Days blurred into weeks aboard her ship. I learned their language. Not through words but through resonance. It vibrated through bone and blood, carrying emotion and memory rather than sound. The queen taught me the history of her kind. The Valkyrie, a civilization that had mastered biosynthesis and interdimensional travel. But they had made one fatal mistake. They opened the Void Gate, a passage into a realm beyond physics, where thought shaped matter. The gate consumed their world. Only fragments escaped, encoded in beams of quantum light that traveled to Earth thousands of years ago. One fragment found my mother. She had decoded their signal and unwittingly activated the genetic key hidden in her own DNA. The fragment the Valkyrie had planted eons ago. When I was born, the connection was complete. The queen called me Nothiron, the bridge reborn. And yet I still felt human. I missed the feel of Earth's gravity, the noise of cities, the smell of rain. I wasn't ready to be anyone's savior. One evening, as we watched the stars swirl beyond the ship's living windows, I asked her, "Why kneel? Why treat me like a god?" Her eyes shimmered. "Because we failed. You are what we could not be, a being of both creation and compassion. You are the chance for our redemption." 6. Earth's fear. Meanwhile, Earth panicked. The media painted me as a traitor, a hybrid infiltrator. Governments accused the Queen of trying to seize control. When her ships remained stationary for too long, Earth's leaders saw it as preparation for invasion. Missiles launched. The first barrage hit the Queen's vessel with a light storm of nuclear fire. When the glow faded, the ship stood untouched. But something in her eyes changed, a sorrow deeper than anger. "They fear what they do not understand," she murmured. It was the same on my world. I begged her not to retaliate. "If you fight back, they'll never stop. Please let me speak to them." "You would plead for them?" "Yes," I said. "Because they're my people too." She studied me for a long time, then nodded. "Then you must show them." 7. The revelation. They let me broadcast to Earth. One final attempt at peace. I stood before the cameras, the Queen beside me, her presence radiating calm power. The world watched in stunned silence. "My name is Nathan Carter," I began. "And what I'm about to tell you will change everything you know about where we come from." I explained the truth. The Valkyrie, their extinction, their attempt to preserve life. The Queen's purpose. My mother's sacrifice. The genetic bridge that bound our species together. And then I said, if we destroy them, we destroy part of ourselves. The same spark that allowed us to dream, to reach the stars. It came from them. From her. For a moment, there was silence across the world. Then the feed cut to chaos. Arguing politicians, frightened commentators, religious leaders calling it heresy. Humanity couldn't accept it. Not yet. That night, the attacks began again. The Queen's fall. The second wave of missiles was different. Quantum-tipped warheads designed to pierce dimensional shielding. The Queen's fleet moved to protect her, but one missile struck the flagship's heart. The explosion tore through the sky like a second sunrise. The ship shuddered. Inside, alarms wailed in a language that sounded like mourning. The Queen staggered, her luminescent blood spilling onto the floor. I caught her as she fell. "No, no, stay with me." She touched my face, her hand trembling. "The bridge must not break," she whispered. "The circle must complete." I screamed for help, but her guards only watched, silent and solemn. They knew. Her last words echoed inside my mind, not through ears but through the resonance we shared. "Become the light we lost." And then she was gone. 9. The awakening. When she died, something ignited inside me. The chamber's walls glowed. The air thickened, humming with energy. I felt her essence merging with mine. Memories, emotions, entire lifetimes flowing into my consciousness. The void seed awakened. Suddenly, I saw the universe not as stars and matter, but as threads of living energy connecting everything. Humanity, the Valkyrie, even the fabric of time itself. I understood what the circle of memory was. A network of consciousness linking all who carried the seed. And I wasn't the only one. Across Earth, others began to awaken. People whose DNA carried fragments of the same signal. Artists, scientists, children. All dreaming of the same stars, the same voice calling them home. The Queen's death had triggered the final phase of the transmission. Her essence, merged with mine, was broadcasting across the world. The last choice. The governments panicked. They ordered my capture. Some wanted to study me. Others wanted to erase all trace of alien influence. I fled into the desert, pursued by drones and soldiers. But wherever I went, people began to gather. Those who felt the resonance too. We called ourselves the Circle. We weren't soldiers or rebels. We were witnesses to something greater. When the final fleet appeared in the sky, massive ships that dwarfed even the Queen's, I knew the moment had come. A hologram appeared before me. An echo of the Queen, formed from light and memory. "Nothiron," she said, "the circle is open. The rift awaits your command." Behind her, the sky tore open once more, the void gate. A swirling expanse of black and gold energy, singing in frequencies beyond hearing. If I entered it, humanity would change forever. We'd ascend or be erased. Rhodes appeared with his troops shouting, "Carter, don't do this. We can't survive whatever's on the other side." I looked back at him. Neither could they. But they tried anyway. I stepped into the light. 11. The new dawn. For an instant I ceased to exist. Then I became everything. I saw the Queen's world reborn in the fabric of my mind. Its oceans, its skies, its people. I saw Earth intertwined with it, not separate but part of a larger ecosystem of consciousness. The void wasn't death. It was transformation. When I opened my eyes again, I was standing on new soil. The sky was not Earth's, yet familiar. Around me humans and Valkyrie stood together, merged, harmonized. The bridge was complete. And there she was, the queen, alive once more, formed of light and memory. She knelt again before me, but this time I knelt too. No more gods, I said. No more heirs. Only life. She smiled, a ripple of light across the horizon. Then our circle is whole. 12 Epilogue. Years have passed since the rift opened. The world we live in now isn't Earth or Vakar. It's something in between. Our cities breathe, our machines grow. We don't conquer space. We seed it, nurturing worlds the way gardeners tend soil. The fear that once ruled humanity has faded, replaced by curiosity, by connection. Sometimes at night, I still hear her voice in the wind. You were never just human, Nathan. You were the memory of stars learning to dream again. And when I look up, I see both worlds reflected in the sky. Earth's moon and Vakar's twin suns, orbiting together across the void. The queen once fell to her knees when she saw me. But in truth, I was the one who should have knelt first, to the miracle of what we could become. Because in the end we were never alone. We were only waiting to remember who we really were.